Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bind, and you're not a genius. And neither am I, by the way. So yes, you read that right, the title of this video. And that is not to put us down, put me down, put you down, have us be pity cases. That is not the goal of that. The goal of that is to give you a perspective that some people in this modern day and age seem to lack. I'm also not trying to sound like a dinosaur here, but well, let's get into it. But before we do, I want to thank today's sponsor, Coca-Cola. Just messing with you. My wife likes to buy these, and I have yet to find out why. To me, glass is a glass, but whatever. So anyways, guys, what do I mean by we're not geniuses? I'll tell you a little story about myself. So when I was really little, like 5 years old, something like that, I was in kindergarten, and I always showed interest in art, right? So parents would put me there, and then one day they picked me up, and the kindergarten teachers would be like out of their minds because I had done something, according to them, which is really advanced in terms of art for such a little child. So they would show it to my parents. My parents would be very happy, very proud, all of that. And then I would maybe do it again and again over the next weeks. So pretty soon, they thought I was special, talented, right? So everybody in the kindergarten picked up on this. My parents picked up on this, not surprisingly. And then pretty soon after, maybe you proceed that art as a kid, it's kind of unusual because I always had a lot of patience, I think, and that is the key really to a lot of early artwork, I think. So what happened is my peers, my family, they thought I was genius, right? And then what happens with that, and that's not only me, it happens to every little community, every circle of friends. They have somebody that is talented, right? Quote unquote talented. So what is the problem with that? The problem with that is that your parents, when they judge, your peers, when they judge, oftentimes they don't know what they're talking about because they are not versed in art, and they didn't went to school, to university. They're oftentimes not even amateur artists themselves, so they just see something that is slightly above average and they think it's genius, right? So yeah, this is not to bash anyone. I have a good relationship with my parents, always had. So, but it's just a very sad fact, you can call it, that most people cannot judge art, right? So what then happens is that if as a kid like me, you buy into that, you will think that, yeah, they're right, I'm probably going to be an artist, and it's easy because I'm talented, and that's it, and that's, yeah, I'm going to be an artist because, for sure, right? You believe the hype. So as it happens, and then I think most of the times this is not a good thing, because what happens then is that you think this is inevitable or this is easy, and just like me, you get lazy in your teens with your art, right? I always did art, but I was not as focused, and that's maybe because no teenager is that focused, and that's also maybe a little bit because you really believe that you're destined to do this, and you're really not. You're really not. You don't. Most of the people who think they become artists later become accountants and other stuff, school teachers, that sort of thing. It's very hard to stick to something, to a career that is so insecure, like being an artist, right? And I know this firsthand because I have not stick to this always, right? It's a monetary thing financial situations, family situations, all of that stuff. So probably you have had a similar experience, and maybe you had. Let me know if you can relate to that. But anyways, I think what then happens is that we either wake up from this one day or we don't. If we don't, then you'll be the sad guy that at the mid 30s at a family gathering just will talk every time how he could have been an artist, and he like the harsh world was against him and that or her, and then that's why they did not succeed in doing it, and will whine forever about this. So yeah, not to say that there isn't cases where it's tragic. Of course this stuff can happen, but it's like with a, you know, it's the same thing that everybody used to be a great sportsman, right? When they were young. Yeah, I could have been pro and this and that and that. It's hot air is what that is, right? And again, this sounds like a very harsh reality check. It's actually not meant to be that. But I think that is... I think we have to criticize ourselves a lot of times because no one else is going to do it for us, really. Because who in your family wants to tell you that you're not that great? It's a very hard thing to tell somebody, especially a young child, right? So back to the story. What happened for me is, bring up the sponsor a little bit. What happened for me is that I got into art school, public art school in Stuttgart, south of Germany. It's quite renowned, so I was lucky to be good enough to get in there, and it was not easy because there were hundreds of people signing up and only a few spaces, as you have it happen in the really good places, right? So luckily I got in, and then just to be able to basically wake up and realize I'm not great, I'm not a genius, far from it. Other people are better, and yeah, it's you have to learn a lot, right? You have to learn a lot because yes, there are artists that are geniuses, but most are not, right? So, and even those who are geniuses practice a lot, right? So let's not forget about that. And so chances are you need a lot of tools to be a good artist. Also depending, of course, on your definition of what is an artist, but we'll maybe talk about that in a different video. So anyways, you know, you soon realize, or I did at least, that you have to learn a lot. And luckily had a good professor who also changed my perspective on judging images fundamentally, because he would judge images in front of everybody and then would just explain to you, talk about the image. And there's something very transformative. If you have done art for years and years as an amateur, and then as a maybe kind of becoming a pro in art school, and then you already thought about this a lot, and if you then meet a person who is seasoned and who talks about art in a way that you understand now really from your core, that this person knows what he's talking about, that will change, that will stick with you, because now you understand what they're saying, and you understand it's not just art blah blah, right? It's not just people like going to the gallery and being the cliche, oh yeah, I so like the shapes and I like this period, because no, you will then pick up on the fact that they know something about image making in a fundamental way, and they can communicate that, but you need to be ready for it, right? So that is also sometimes the case with my videos, because some of my videos are more for beginners and some are more advanced, and some I cannot always have a script at hand, of course, and say, yeah, today I'm going to talk about only intermediate stuff. It's not how this works, because if you have the thoughts, you need to express the thoughts, and then some people will pick up 100% of those thoughts, and some people will only pick up 30%, and that's very normal. And that is why also this stuff, I think, has rewatch value in some sort. And it's, yeah, you will view it differently at different periods in your life and your artistic journey. That is just normal. So what am I getting at with that is just that, I guess, comfort you a little bit, because a lot of people struggle, and I want you to know that it's normal. It's normal that you're not a genius, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I know for a fact that some people that are very well off and very good and have been in the space, in the industry for a long time, they struggle too, and they doubt themselves just like you do, right? So it's really, what it comes down to is you don't stop. You understand that where there is struggle, where there is a downside, there will be an upside, and then you will progress, and then you will hopefully enjoy that process, right? But you cannot enjoy it all of the time. It's impossible. Also, yeah, there's also something to be said for them, because nowadays a lot of people, they see people on social media and think, oh, they're geniuses, I need to do the same, I need to post, and then you get lost in that. The emulating people, having a certain rhythm of posting to different platforms, and all of that, it sidelines you. I think it drags your attention away from what is really important, and that is just doing your art. And then they're all running their mouth, and then what is the best, how you should do this and that. It doesn't matter, guys. You're an artist, you will find a way. Your way is not their way. It's just not. Everybody gets on YouTube or on social media and says, yeah, here's the 5 rules what you should always do. You can, in my opinion, forget about that shit. I'm sorry, excuse my French here, but this is just a ways to tell everybody that they can do the same thing and get the same results, and that is insane. That will never happen, right? So, but don't worry. I think we hang in there. Just don't give up on what you want to do, and also find what you want to do. This is another thing. You need to really do what you want to do and not what is trendy, because you will never stick to what is trendy, and you will never get good in time until this trend passes and then the next thing comes. So you can't chase stuff. You can't cater to only exteriors like social media and your peers, stuff like that. Yeah, it's nice to have some reaffirmation, right? I had some social media posts that were very hugely successful, but at the end, then the next post, it will not get any attention, and there's no reason for that. And you can't let that get to you, because the majority of people looking at your post are not artists, and they can't even judge it, right? And that lies in the nature of the world, I think. So anyways, guys, that was enough rambling for today. I hope I made an interesting train of thought here. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know if you have come across similar problems in your life, struggled with identifying as what your peers see you as or not, and if you ever bought into your own hype or not, right? So anyways, guys, see you next time.